At the age of 38, Kamaru Usman defied the odds and won decisively against a young, dangerous, and streaking Joaquin Buckley. MMA is certainly not a young man's game, but there are a few keys for an older fighter to continue to win at the highest level, even past their prime. Today we will look at the 3 keys to having a long, successful career in MMA. An age-friendly style. There are many different styles of fighters in the UFC. Although the styles are not as specialized as they were in the early days of MMA, you still have fighters who prefer certain areas of the fight and rely on certain attributes. To illustrate what an age-friendly style looks like, let's go back to 2018 and pick out 3 fighters. Here we have Stephen Thompson, Tony Ferguson, and Glover Teixeira, Glover being the oldest of the 3. But you see, these are 3 of the top fighters in 2018, all with really good records and nearing the end of their prime. But this is their record since 2018. You see how being past their prime has affected Wonderboy and Ferguson. But the eldest fighter of the group, Glover Teixeira, continued to win fights at the highest level and even win a championship. The difference is in their fighting styles. Wonderboy relies on his speed and reaction time to outstrike his opponents on the feet. Tony Ferguson also heavily relied on his athleticism and chin to win his fights. Where Glover differs from the other 2 is his fighting style did not rely on speed or reaction time. He used a strong top game, good wrestling, and powerful boxing to win his fights. An age-friendly fighting style is one that doesn't rely on attributes like speed, reaction time, and overall athleticism, because that will fade as you get older, unless you're Yoel Romero. Even though Glover kept his granite chin through to the end of his career, that attribute also cannot be relied on to continue with age. And sure, these athletic traits will help a fighter when they are young, but to continue having success in their later years, they must adapt. It's like this in other sports as well. When Michael Jordan came back after his first retirement, his game revolved less on high-flying, explosive plays and focused more on the mid-range and post-game. It's the same in fighting. You will not be able to fight the same at 28 and 38. Using the cage. Since we know that the older we get, the more we lose our athletic abilities, as an older fighter, we have to understand where we are in the most danger. That answer is clearly at striking range out in the open. This is where all of the most explosive and athletic movements can be made. Against the cage, however, is where experience can really shine. This past weekend we saw Kamaru Usman, who used good top control combined with great cage wrestling to completely dominate the fight. Wrestling against the cage is something that Usman has spent years upon years training, so his experience can shine through in these spots. It's a section of the fight which, sure, athleticism can help tremendously, but knowledge and reps in these same grappling exchanges can give the less athletically gifted fighter the advantage. The cage can also be used to give the older fighter a striking advantage. The great Randy Couture was exceptional in later years as a heavyweight at pushing his bigger and younger opponents against the fence and beating them up in the clinch. Couture's experience and savvy in the clinch allowed him to win the punching exchanges against his more powerful opponents. The clinch is a spot where, again, athleticism can certainly help, but the knowledge and reps inside of the clinch will most times win. Strong top control. Although the clinch and against the cage are safer spots for older, less athletically gifted fighters, the safest spot is on the ground, specifically on top. The likelihood of you sustaining severe damage while on top and in control of the fight is obviously way lower than any other place. Fighting is a dangerous and unpredictable sport where truly anything can happen, but when you are in top position on the ground, unless Charles Oliveira has you in his guard, you are in control. The more time you can spend on the ground and in control, the more time you are not on the feet, at an athleticism deficit and in danger of getting knocked out or badly damaged. This ground control time, especially early, can also help to slow down some of that explosiveness while winning you around with no threat of damage. A bonus to great top control would be an effective submission game, as that would just simply end the fight before they could have the possibility of escaping. Look at the great Damian Maia, who made a title run at 38 years of age in the welterweight division by submitting 3 of his 7 consecutive wins. So in summary, fighting is certainly a young man's game. There's no way around that, but if you want to fight for a long time, you must have these 3 things. An age-friendly style that doesn't rely on athletic traits or toughness, the ability to use the cage wrestling to wear on your opponent, striking against the cage to win the striking exchanges, whilst being in less danger than you would be out in the middle. Third, top control. Being on top means being in control and not in a position to be heavily damaged. It wins you rounds, and a solid submission game would be a bonus.